Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad For You. Or if you're watching this on my BitChute account, Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking how Lucasfilm still fears Pewdiepie and the Brofist. And they are making people who are even remotely related to Lucasfilm deny jobs to people who have in the past supported Pewdiepie or made videos about Pewdiepie. Namely, one YouTuber, Isaiah Photo, who has been fired from a job when he was hired by a man or a company to do independent photographs and photography work for them. But when they came across that he has been known to support Pewdiepie and had made videos supporting Pewdiepie on YouTube, they promptly fired him from the job they hired him to do. Now, in his own words, Isaiah Photo keeps his photographic job, his life as a photographer, separate from his YouTube career. In fact, I would say that his photography is probably his main career, and this is probably really hurting him financially. And all in all, you can see Lucasfilm and Disney are going the extra stretch to put pressure on people to stay away from Pewdiepie, or even people who are only remotely related to Pewdiepie offhandedly by doing a few videos of him. For God's sakes, are they going to do this to people who are against Pewdiepie too, just because they mentioned his name in their videos? Now, this has mainly to do with the fact that once he accidentally used the N-word when he was online doing a live stream of a video game and accidentally called out the derogatory N-word to no one in particular. He just used it, much like if he were to just drop an F-bomb. And also, it is not helping the fact that he was also mentioned in the New Zealand shooters rampage in that guy's manifesto of why he was doing this. It was mostly done, and most people agree that the shooter was just trolling people and just having fun with his manifesto, saying that he was done this because he was watching right-wing pundits like Pewdiepie, and if you know anything about Pewdiepie, you know that he's just a comedian who just makes fun of things. In no way is he actually right-wing. But due to this, it has allowed corporations like Lucasfilm and Disney to put pressure on people who support Pewdiepie because they can't control him. And so they want to get rid of him, or at least make his popularity less relevant, even though that's just going to make Pewdiepie more and more popular, certainly more popular than Kathleen Kennedy, and if anything, Pewdiepie is probably far more competent than her as well, even though he acts like a complete loon in his show. But that's to be expected. He's a comedian who goes around making fun of people and video games for a living. Now, Lucasfilm and their own merits have just tried to, well, as I've said, putting pressure on people so they would try to make Pewdiepie less popular, which is a really bad thing, and it really shows and it really makes other people who have seen this behavior really detest Lucasfilm and Disney. Other YouTubers have mentioned that the left wing who are against Pewdiepie and are continuously attacking them and throwing their support behind Disney and Lucasfilm, or as well as being some of them possibly being paid shills, it has been mentioned that a lot of these left wingers are in support of pedophilia and abuse of children. So, the old media and the far left will actually ally themselves with pedophiles and known criminals just so that they can go after their ideological opponents and happily do so, knowing that they would allow the most innocent people in the world to come to harm. It shows you a lot of the character of the far left as well as the corporate media, as well as other paid shills like the Washington Post and other papers going after Pewdiepie and also trying to rile up people to attack him both, well, mentally and vocally, as well as possibly even physically with their behavior. By trying to paint Pewdiepie, a man who just goes around by making mostly kids happy by showing him how funny life can be and making fun of stupid things that people do lately. He hasn't done many Let's Plays, and that's a sad thing, but trying to paint him as the devil incarnate and just going after him constantly and constantly using derogatory names for him and trying to go after him in the same way as the old media is going after Trump. And like Trump, people are coming out of the woodwork to accuse him of things he probably has never had anything to do with at all. I mean, honestly saying that. They've continuously tried to pop around saying PewDiePie is a racist all over the internet, that it's even gone so far as to come out in a college course at a university where the professor there went on an hour-long tirade against PewDiePie, saying that he was a racist and that he should be barred from YouTube and thrown off of the internet. Most likely that's what he said. Or something to that effect. Now, back to Lucasfilm. They have made, over the last few years, saying that they are all about inclusivity. But I have noticed from other YouTubers saying that Lucasfilm is full of nothing but leftists and far left extremists in their organization. Others have said, if you are all about inclusivity, who are all the Trump supporters at your own company? There probably are a few, but they're terrified to speak out and say what's really on their minds for fear of losing their jobs or to be ridiculed and harassed to the point where they would just quit or outright fired by their superiors. This, I have been told from other YouTubers by watching their videos, has really, especially over the last few years, with seeing how all the corporate media has continuously tried to put more and more control over the internet, and as well as people trying to speak their minds, or just trying to basically ban free speech in and of itself. As you can see, this all stems back to the fact that, well, even further back than even the Trump election back in 2016 when he became president, that this, over the last few years, we have all descended into a gigantic moral panic on a gigantic, far more gigantic purity spiral, with everyone on the left trying to say we are more holier than you and each other, while the right have just continuously done the more honest thing and say that you are wrong. And that we shouldn't go trying to limit free speech or trying to disparage and make people lose their jobs and livelihoods over just speaking their minds. People like Lucasfilm and the ones who run it, like Kathleen Kennedy, with their ideas and their bad morals, trying to tell us how to live our lives, are just wrong. Now, as I've said before, or rather others have said before, we, with no respect, we reject. Like Doomcock has said. Meaning, when episode 9 comes out, we all must boycott it. Especially for such behavior, and going after everybody who just wants to try to make an honest buck. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to me. Also, subscribe to PewDiePie and anyone else you like. And don't let any far lefter tell you who to like. Alright? Hit that like button and leave some comments down below as well for my own video. And if you're watching this on BitChute, subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. And remember, keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I gotta tell you, it won't have left-wing ideology in it, but it will have a lot of fun and reckless abandonment with everyone going nuts in it and having a good time. Or at least you'll have a good time reading it. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.